Today's episode of Fantasy Fiction is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/fantasyfiction. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, MP3 player, or Magic Stone. Today we're recommending Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. It's a book about elves, I think. So if you're enjoying the show, give the free trial a chance. It'll help us pay for the hosting, but I'm not sure what that is. I'm just a wizard. Enjoy the episode. Next scroll. Reese's, where are you?
In the land of fantasy, on the fields of fiction, there roll two knights across the plains. Two thieves of the night, two warriors of honor, in the shadow of the mountain cry their name. Fantasy fiction. Until the deed is done. Fantasy fiction. Until the quest is won. Fantasy fiction. The battle's in our minds. Fantasy fiction. Until the end of time.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Fantasy Fiction. My name is Dominic.
My name is Josh.
Hey, I'm Aubrey Sitterson.
Oh, you didn't know that we had a guest on this week.
Oh, you didn't know?
Aubrey is a friend of ours. Let's talk about your credits, Aubrey. Let's introduce you as a person.
I'd love
First
to.
off, big Burt Reynolds fan.
Big Burt Reynolds fan.
Humongous. You don't believe me? Check my jeans right now. Humongous Burt Reynolds fan. Also a writer. I'm super excited because this past week I had my first big graphic novel come out. I had some smaller stuff, but my first graphic novel came out this week. It's called Worth. It's from the folks. It's from. You'll appreciate this. It's produced by Roddenberry Entertainment.
Oh, there you go.
Of course.
We just had an extensive conversation.
the name
about
that
Star
brought
Trek.
you Star Trek.
Exactly.
It says it on the book.
It says it on
Much
the book.
And it's published by Arcana Press. It's a comic book. It's art by Chris Moreno. It's called Worth. I'm super excited about it. It's available in finer comic shops and Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Roddenberry Shop, the shop owned by the name that brought you Star Trek.
The shop that brought you Star Trek. I highly recommend it. It's very good, and you can check it out on Amazon and everything, right?
It's on Amazon, and also there's digital versions on Comixology.com if you prefer that.
If you prefer the digital, the future of comics.
Yes.
I don't know. That seems a little bold to me.
But you're also a huge wrestling fan.
A wrestling fan, I am. I do a weekly, a little bit. Actually, it's twice weekly. What's the name for that?
Bi-weekly.
I thought that meant every other week.
I think it means both. You can have either.
It's like
or.
inflammable and flammable.
Okay.
Inflammable means flammable.
I'm just
You are
I'm
blowing my mind too early, Jeff.
You're blowing me right now. But yeah, no, I do this show called Straight Shoot. It's on YouTube. It's also a podcast on iTunes and Stitcher and Podomatic, all that great stuff. But it's, after Raw every week, I have different guests on. We talk about Raw, and we also do a weekly retro one. But here's what's really exciting, folks. This Monday, which is today. If you're listening to this the day it came out, it's today.
It's today, guys.
That's blowing my mind right now. April 7th, 2014. Keep it together, Josh. Josh and Dom are going to be showing up on Straight Shoot right after Raw, which is the
Right.
Raw after WrestleMania 30, which is super exciting because Dom, don't interrupt me. That's when all the super crazy, exciting stuff happens. The Raw after Mania. It's going to be bonkers.
It is going to be an awesome WrestleMania. I think it's really funny that we're talking about it right now because I'm super excited for it because I think it's going to be a really great WrestleMania. Josh, when's the last time you watched some wrestling? Let's be honest.
When I was at Luke's, whenever I
Who
say
the fuck is Luke?
our buddy Luke.
I don't know. I feel like if I'm wondering, I feel like the audience is wondering.
It's a good question. It's a good question to bring up.
Our buddy Luke Brown, he goes away on like 8 vacations a year, and I watch his house and his cat, and every time I do...
Where was he on vacation the most recent time?
like Italy or something? I don't know.
Did he go? Did he go to like some snow-covered cabin?
Oh yeah, no, he went to fucking like the Poconos, and he went to like a sex shack, like a place, like a hotel
That's
with a
right. It had like a jacuzzi inside.
yeah, like the
right?
heart-shaped tub and shit like that. Yeah,
Did he take someone with him?
His wife.
His wife.
Okay. All right.
He just went to go there to go
Awesome if he
masturbate in a
went
different
alone.
I don't
setting.
know, man. I don't know. Some guys need a little extra help
Yeah. No, I mean I
jail.
do.
to master.
Yeah.
As I call it.
So you were watching Luke's house.
Yeah, it's always interesting because WrestleMania is always around my birthday. I remember when I was 9, I rented WrestleMania 9, and it was in Las Vegas, and I got all swole and jacked up on WrestleMania when I was 9 years old and wrestled my friends.
Maximus, right?
Was he the announcer?
Yeah, Howard Finkel.
Yeah.
Everybody had their Roman name at that one.
Yeah.
Josh, what was the main event at that?
I think it was Hulk Hogan and Yokozuna.
Well, it was, if I may.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing about Aubrey. Aubrey, if you talk to Aubrey for like 20 minutes about wrestling, you will be stoked on wrestling.
It was Bret Hart and Yoko.
Okay.
And then Yoko won, and then Hulk Hogan came back.
That's right.
He'd been off filming like Thunder in Paradise.
That's
he came
right.
back, dropped the big leg, said "fuck you, you Canadian greasy hair vanilla midget motherfucker." I'm taking the title back. Do something.
So wait, how did that match go? So Bret Hart beats Yokozuna? Or?
No. Yoko beat Bret.
And then Hulk Hogan
comes out and says, "Don't worry, Bret, I'll take care of this."
Right.
Gets the title himself,
Yeah.
like a boss.
Like a boss.
Yeah, we'll be appearing on Straight Shoot later today if you're listening to this on Monday. And you should tune in. It's a live show. You can submit your comments. And we're going to be talking about that night's Raw episode. So watch Raw. Tune into Straight Shoot with Aubrey Sitterson and the two of us. And we're going to have some fun. But, Josh, I want to know what you did this week.
I just watched a lot of Star Trek for Syndication Station, our other podcast.
Yes,
and,
we did. The Defector.
Yeah.
Season 3, Episode 10. Great episode. Check it out.
While I did that, I just drank hot sauce out of a bottle.
Did you?
What type of hot sauce?
Just some shitty, like, store brand crap. Like Acme brand or whatever, or Giant brand. Nobody knows what Acme is. I'm localizing
Like
myself.
Wile E. Coyote?
Yeah, we have supermarkets around here called Acme, which is ridiculous.
I forgot that we have that and Pathmark back home.
Pathmark is
I'm too used
Pathmark's
to Vons and Ralph's.
Ralph's.
I shop at a
The
guy's.
font's really similar at those. Have you noticed that?
There's Vons and then there's a John's,
And
which is
the
a
fonts of
knockoff.
those look exactly similar.
Yeah.
It looks like actionable.
Yeah, it's like you go in there and then you might see like a tumbleweed blow through. It's a weird place.
Yeah, it's kind of
They
how
get those
Pathmark
tumbleweeds
is.
out. I feel like it'd be less weird if they got those tumbleweeds out.
Probably. It would be a little less Western. So.
You want to buy some tumbleweeds, though? You're at your place.
That's the place.
There's
So
the
you just
place.
drank hot sauce and watched Star Trek?
I mean, I like put it on stuff. I've been putting it on everything. Like I'm addicted to it.
What's the weirdest thing you've put it on?
I just put it on like bread and I just eat it.
I've got something for you to put it on.
What is it?
It's my dick.
Oh!
All right.
Oh, but what did you do, Aubrey?
Well, I tried to go see a really good indie wrestling show.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, there's this thing called PWG, stands for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. They do shows out in the Valley. We live in Los Angeles, everybody.
Los Angeles.
They do shows out in the Valley, and oh man, I was so stoked. I was so excited. I love going to these shows. It's like every 6 or 8 weeks or so, they put one on, and my friend Dominic, maybe you've met him, he was like, "Oh man, I'd love to go to one of these shows with you." And I said, "Yeah, sure, man. Let's do it. Do you mind driving? Because people drink a lot. People drink a lot there, and I like to drink, and I just wanted to be able to drink as much
As
I
possible.
felt was necessary.
Yeah.
Just a lot, and not have to worry about getting home."
And you had how many beers?
Well, let's get to that in a minute. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
You're like the Wade
Because I also-
Boggs of drinking.
Here's something else I like to do when I go to these PWG shows, because they're long. They're like 4.5 hours long. I like to bring an edible for my anxiety. I have a card. It's legal.
Yeah.
I bring a brownie or something, and I asked Dominic. I was like, "Would you like to share this for your anxiety as well?" Because Dominic also has.
I have anxiety.
He also has anxiety. We're anxious, and he said, "Yeah, sure." Because the way it works, Josh, is you eat it, and then 4.5 hours later, it's worn off, and you just go home. It's
Right,
great.
right.
It times out perfectly, and so we ate it while we were standing in line, and having a good time, right, Dom?
Yeah, having a good time.
Having a pretty good time. We went in. I got a pitcher of beer. Me, Dom, and my friend Johnny, we each had a beer.
Had a
This
beer.
pitcher. It was delicious. It was good. Just mellowing out, watch two wrestling matches.
Two wrestling matches.
I noticed something was up because at a certain point, we were sitting where people would flip out of the ring.
We were
onto the
sitting in the
audience.
second row, yeah.
We were in the splash zone.
Yeah.
And I noticed at a certain point that everybody else had stood up to get out of the way because somebody was clearly going to jump out of the ring, and Dom was still just sitting in his chair clutching his beer.
Oh no!
I said, bro, get up, move that ass, and he did reluctantly, and then we finished the second wrestling match, and Dom said to me, "Hey man, I gotta go."
Yeah.
And I said, what? I was like, well, do you need something to drink? He said, no. I was like, do you need like a Coke or something? We can get some water. He says, no, I gotta go outside. I was like, oh, you just need some air? He's like, no, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I gotta go home.
Yeah.
What was going on in that brain of yours?
I don't even want to talk about it. I was having the worst trip of my life.
Yeah, man.
You want to? Here's what I deduced by the end of it. I'm the worst person.
Yep.
I'll never be a good person.
Dom, that's every time I smoke weed.
When I
time.
smoke, it's a great time. I'm loving everything. I was just going out of my brain because I just ate. I'm 165 pounds, and I ate a hefty piece of edible, and I saw Aubrey eat it, and I was like, well, Aubrey's eating this. It'll be okay to eat. You know,
I'm 350 pounds.
He's a 350-pound man. No, Aubrey's a smaller guy than I am, but I guess I'm thinner.
You're thinner. I'm a bulkier guy.
Yeah,
I'm a shorter guy, but a bulkier guy.
So Aubrey ate more than I did. As soon as I stood up, it was like, it is time to go.
Yeah.
So we went outside, and Dom immediately started having some irping issues.
And Aubrey goes, "Be cool, man." And I was like, and I go,
That helps.
I wish you would have. I wish you would have been cool.
"Hey, man, for a minute I held it."
Yeah,
I was like, all right, I gotta chill.
Just long enough to get off of the property of the American Foreign Legion where we were seeing this show, and then booted, and then just booted, and just barfed right on the street. And I don't even get how we had one beer.
No, it was the edible, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had too much. My body was like, you need to get rid of this because you're gonna go insane.
Yeah. You're gonna go insane.
When we went outside, I was thinking maybe we could get some fresh air, walk and get some water, and then go back in and go to the show. But Dom was barfing, and then this guy, Legion Larry, who's like a Legionnaire who works there.
Is he a wrestler or just a guy that works there?
He's just like an old crusty bastard who works there. He's just like, he makes himself part of the show. He's into the gimmick and everything. He came around the corner and was like, hey, what are you doing? And so I had to be like, oh, no, we're fine. We're getting out of here. We're leaving. We're beating feet.
I believe your language was, he had too much.
Yeah, I just wanted him to think that you were like pounding beers or whatever. And so then we walked to a CVS, closed.
Yep.
Could not get
Yeah.
anything in the CVS. And then I had to drive Dominic home, miss the wrestling show.
Well, I
sucks.
got your next ticket to the next one.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's cool.
Hey, man,
Listen,
it could be front row if you wanted to.
that would be dope. Listen,
Yeah.
I was mad, but I'm not mad at you because, like, you know, like, it'd be one thing if you were just freaking out in your brain. Because I talked to Queenie, my wife, about this. I was like, you know, if you were just freaking out in your brain, I would have like bullied you into staying.
No, yeah, I would have been able to stay, but
But if if it's your body revolting against you, that's
Yeah.
like a different thing.
yeah.
That's a different
Next
thing.
Thanks
time,
for understanding, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's why we're friends, guys.
Because one of us can't handle his shit, and the other one's kind of okay with it. Just like marginally okay with it.
Marginally. All right. You know what? I bet the next one's going to be pretty good.
I hope so.
Something tells me.
something tells me.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let us get into some fantasy. Some stories of witches and jailbreaks.
Tonight is gonna be a jail.
Music provided by Enlist.
All right, you ready for my story?
Oh, yes.
Do it.
All right, it's called Foursome Prison Blues.
I like it already.
That's a Johnny Cash song, I think. Deep in the cum hole of Daranos lies a correctional facility so wicked and gnarly that the warden officially referred to it as an erection facility. This place makes Sing Sing look like Sang Sang, and Eastern State look like Queefstern State.
What is Sing
Fuck
Sing?
those prisons. No, I'm with you. Keep going.
It's an old prison. This place was as hard and as gross as old toenails and just as smelly. The jail mainly housed the dark, accursed, evil banshee witches of Daranos, a brood of dark magic users. If evil were measured in bra size, they'd easily be some big old sweaty hangers, like 32 double H's.
32 double H?
Yeah, I'll send you some links. The prison resided on an island in the middle of an acid lake surrounded by mountains made out of broken glass.
Damn.
The prison itself, an old castle whose previous owners were way too into S&M, was also made from the bones of Daranos' most vile criminals, like Jack the Evil Monk, Katz Johnson, the only man to ever kill someone with an endless crumping spell, Gravy Lips the Knoll, serial leg humper, and Jack McGovern, chronic user of the most illegal sexual position in the world, the Santa Fe mustard hammock.
Cold-blooded.
What is the Santa Fe mustard hammock?
I'll show you someday.
I hope not.
I hope so.
I bet you do.
Yeah, I do.
This is the rest of the show.
I'm not backing down. Accept it.
Okay.
All I know is, said Helena Satanmeyer, an incarcerated banshee, all I know is we gotta get the shit out of this place. Yeah, but how are we supposed to do that, said Katrina Broomrider, street name Big K. There are magical spells all over the damn place. I walked into the kitchen the other day when all the brooms were dance cleaning the dishes, and the magic alarm went off because I was supposed to be in the bathroom where all the brooms were dance cleaning the toilets. Inside of the darkened dungeon chained to the walls were two of the most evil banshees Daranos had ever had the displeasure of queefing out. Their sentence was 25 to infinity because banshees never die, and they never get out on good behavior. Their crime? Disturbing the peace, and sex murder.
Oh, fuck.
Whoa!
It's how I want to go.
That's how you want to
I
go?
figure it's the only way if you have to go.
Yeah.
Get fucked by a ghost to death.
Well, stay tuned. I have an idea, said Helena. First we and then we
What did they say?
I didn't hear you. Josh, could you say those parts?
sorry, it must be something with the podcast problems. Anyway. The next day, the two dark witches were doing their daily wench tasks when Warden Orkstrong came strutting by doing his daily prison inspection. Warden Orkstrong was a strong orc who was also the warden. Look alive there, witch. This isn't flower camp, boomed the warden as he ate a huge-ass turkey leg. The witches kept their eyes on their toil as the warden passed them by. In his other hand, a one-handed mace with the orc phrase for meat pounder on it.
Nice.
He walked up a set of old wood stairs into his chambers. Banshees were in cages hanging from the ceiling. Some of them were in stockades made out of pane wood, a wood so splintery and thorny, they actually named it pane wood. Orcs
I
were-
think I've moved Painwood before, by the way.
yeah. It's like old ranch wood or something where you pick it up.
I'm pretty sure my parents' rake at home is made of
Pane wood.
Painwood.
That's actually what I call my dick.
Damn, I'm gonna suck some hot sauce off of that sucker.
Do something.
I'm ready.
That part wasn't even live. That's a reference nobody gets.
It just seems awful to put hot sauce on a pain-wooded dick.
Yeah, you'd think, but you never know. Orcs were whipping banshees with whips made from the hair of other banshees. All the banshees continued to clean and sweep, and one of them, I think, was carving a shiv out of a dagger. Why would you do that?
How did you get that dagger?
Why would you? I don't know. Now's our chance, Helena said to Big K. Helena quickly scurried up the steps, but as she got to the top, two orc guards angrily clanged their axes together, blocking her way. Now, boys, I just need to have a little old discussion with the warden, she said as she slyly shoved her breast meat in their general direction. One of the guards took a long peek, and his eyes immediately exploded inside of his skull. The second guard raised his axe in an attempt to...
Does that count as sex? I'm sorry. Does that count as sex murder?
I mean, it's like a lower... It's like sex manslaughter.
Sex slaughter.
Sex
Yeah.
pre-ejaculation.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Those are some 32 double H hangers.
Yeah, man.
Try and look at them.
Try
That's a
it.
dope. That's a dope Tumblr.
Try not to. 32 double H hangers? Hold on, pause the podcast. I gotta go to Tumblr.
Yeah, hold on. We're going to take
Hold
a
on.
quick break.
Hold on. The second guard raised his axe in an attempt to strike, but also took a long, hard peek at Helena the Banshee's ghostly yams. His eyes bugged so hard out of his head that they popped one by one onto the ground. When they hit the floor, they again looked up at her sweet tit meat, and even though his eyes were no longer in his head, the orc still got a raging hard-on.
Well, he got that underboob.
Yeah, oh, which is fucking sweet, dude. Helena pushed him out of the way and entered the warden's chamber. "What are you doing here, witch? This isn't tea party camp," he yelled as he took another bite out of his giant turkey leg. "Well, now, warden, I think it's time this place was under new management." "Guards, get in here," the warden yelled, but it was too late. Helena began to strip to every Buck Cherry song ever recorded simultaneously. The warden was paralyzed by his raging orc bone. "Now, ladies," Helena screamed. As she did, every one of the jailed ghostly witches started stripping and twerking so damn hard that their chains fell off. The banshee who was making that shiv stabbed an orc guard right in the damn leg, then crawled on top of him and started sexing his 7 wieners off.
7 wieners?
Yeah, man, he's got a lot of wieners.
I like that this is not the first or second time that people have, like, a number of people have stripped in your store.
I just put it in all the time.
I like it.
The orcs were helpless. 3 banshees put a spell on themselves which duplicated their likeness, and then had an 11-way with 2 guards who jizzed so hard they fell into a sex coma and died. Their families would never know how awesome their death truly was.
Yeah.
Was that sex murder?
That was sex murder. That's total sex. That's TB sex murder textbook. Throw the book at him. One orc was giving it to a banshee from behind while he was on fire. He did not care.
That's how you know you're having a good orgy.
Yeah. Banshees were having all kinds of crazy hot orc sex. So much so, the old castle started to smell like an old smokehouse and gravy. That's the grossest thing I've ever written.
It's pretty gross, but there's a little bit of heart in there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of truth, too. "Now, warden," Helena said. "Now watch this banshee turn into a bang-shee."
Damn!
And then she started to strip the warden buck-ass naked with her mind. The warden was helpless. They started banging on the table, on the ceiling, on top of the warden's really cool fish tank, and finally on the underside of the table as Helena flipped it over, hovered it in the air as the warden plowed her from behind and used an oar from the boat to paddle them around the room while they boned.
That's boss. That is fucking righteous, is what that is.
I'll never be that cool.
That's not true.
Nobody's gonna argue with you, Job.
It's true.
I don't know why you say things like that. Like, I don't know, like, you expect us to lie to you?
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Banshees are nasty as filthy, dirty fuck. The warden jade 7 times in under 30 seconds. He, along with the rest of the orcs in the prison, were so dehydrated by the end of the bone sesh that the ones who didn't explode from all the cool sex looked like old shriveled men. Some of them jizzed so much that they turned into dust while their skeletons still were trying to get it on Freak Nasty style with the banshees. They too did not care. "Warden, your entire castle now belongs to us," Helena said. As she spoke, the warden jizzed an 8th and final time and then exploded. As the skeleton lay there with a smile on its face, a pit to hell opened up and crazy black ghost hands pulled it down into the pits of orc heck. As he was being sucked down, he held his skeleton hand up and gave a thumbs up and said, "Totally worth it," as the pit took him under, never to be seen again. Or was he? Helena grabbed his turkey leg and bit down. The banshees had done it. They earned their freedom the only way they knew how, by fucking the ever-living man-chowder out of anyone who dared get in their way. From that day,
Chowder.
Gross.
from that day forward, the prison would be haunted by the banshees and cursed with the ghosts of trillions of orc sperm and the stench of gravy. It was on that day that orcs learned one important lesson. Sex rules. Finn.
Damn. That is an important lesson. Also, this story was real funny and sexy, and then it got really dark and real. When
Here's what I
the
kept
hands
thinking.
took them away.
I kept thinking, how much this prison is like Disneyland.
Yeah.
With all the turkey legs and sex murder.
Yeah, it's sort of like the Pirates
the
of the
rampant
Caribbean
sex
ride.
murder.
Yeah. It's like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, but more sexy, if that's possible.
But like 2 times more ghosts.
Yeah. 2.5 times.
2 times more Johnny Depp popping out of things.
That's weird. Have you seen the updated Pirates of the Caribbean, Josh?
No.
Stinks.
It's cool. Besides Johnny Depp popping
He's
up.
everywhere.
The last time I was there was like
every 20
2001.
seconds, he's popping out of a barrel. It's the goddamn worst.
Man.
Fantasy fiction, ladies and gentlemen.
My God, ridiculous.
That was a great story, Josh.
Ridiculous.
Thank you. Whoa!
Bow, bow, bow.
Clacks on, clacks on, clacks on.
All right, nerds.
Whoa.
Are y'all ready for the tale so bodacious that it had to be called The Fall of Megatool? That was a question. That wasn't rhetorical.
Oh. Yes?
I don't know if I am. It's bodacious?
It's fucking bodacious, man. Josh, are you ready? Dobbs clearly not. Are you?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right,
I
let's do
am
it
ready.
then. Fuck it. Hundreds of years ago, Air Deranos towered over the plains, and long before Battle Keg's ill-fated experimentation with symphonic power ent metal.
Whoa.
Damn.
Do you remember that?
That's some canon.
That was a
right
good
there.
time.
Cannon, bro. Get in there. There was a wondrous island where the population was made up of cool dudes and loose moods and bitchin' broads who knew that the term broad wasn't a demeaning pejorative, but rather a gendered vocative noun that implies familiarity without sexualization.
Nice.
Not that these bitchin' broads weren't sexy, though. They were sexy as shit, man! And best of all, Pound Town wasn't just the name of the island's capital city, it was a metaphorical location to which they were always ready to go. Not as a way of validating themselves, but as an honest expression of their liberated sexuality. Plus, the cool dudes and loose moods were totally buff and sexy, with lats you could build a moderately sized bungalow on.
Damn.
Fuck.
Really great listeners.
I kind of want to hang out with these
I
guys.
kind of want to
Yeah.
fuck one of these guys.
They're very sex positive on this island, which is
Yeah, man,
I
it's
support
Megatool.
that. Yeah.
The island's name was Megatool, and its inhabitants embodied the land's sacred words, getting laid and getting paid. And on the rare occasions that a Megatoolian was neither getting laid nor getting paid, he or she was getting super atomic high on the most dank dizank diggity dank digglers dank dank disanksters wizard weed known to man.
Fuck, man.
God damn, I want to go there right now.
I need to go.
So dank dizank diggity dank digglers dank dank dizankathon-tastic that one time, after the mayor of Pound Town hotboxed the Senate, they voted unanimously to cease the worship of the volcano Steve.
Damn. You know what's blowing my mind right now? Politics.
The motherfucker hotboxed the Senate, son. What are you gonna do?
Oh man.
With absolute danktastic nature, the dank diggity dizank donk diggity dizank dankerphalocradulistic expialidocious nature of Megatoolian wizard weed, the specifics of Stevian volcano worship were soon lost to history, as the inhabitants of Pound Town continued their ever-broadening exploration of the outer reaches of bodaciousness.
Damn. They are exploring their minds and shit.
They're blowing their minds.
This is the best writing you've ever heard on this show.
Very
blowing
true.
something.
This is like what a real writer does.
Outside of Stevian volcano worship, the only crime on Megathul was failure to party hardy, and as such, the crime rate was nearly non-existent. But for those who ran afoul of Megathulian law, there was the Megathulian Re-Education Center. There, inmates were guided through all the most badass ways to party hardy, like snapping on a lighter to make it work, then pretending it's magic, balancing a pint of mead on your schlong, and creating a perpetual token machine, which is when you exhale the most diggity dankadong diddly dizzy dirk dank diggity doodah dank dank dizankster wizard weed from your nose, then pull it back in through your mouth and repeat until you see God's taint.
Wow.
You know what my favorite part about that is? The doodah.
The dude.
It's crucial. It's
Yeah.
crucial.
Yeah.
I'd say it's canon.
It's canon.
It's canon.
Damn, he's got it. He's on this.
Hit it with
he's
a
hired.
stamp, baby.
Yep.
But deep within the darkest bowels of the Megatoolian Re-Education Center sat a grouchy bard with no desire to snap a lighter and lacking the turgitude to balance even a shot of gnome juice on his Johnson. Worst of all, the bard refused to hit the wizard weed, even when it was super diggity dong dizank dankonia dirk danktown diggity corner dankershim and dank set diggity dank. And when he did, he always made like he wasn't feeling it, thinking it somehow made him better than everybody else, when really it made him dry and boring and everyone else self-conscious, which is how he got thrown into jail in the first place.
Yeah.
He was a lousy bard and an even worse bro, and his name was Daryl.
Daryl!
Fucking Daryl.
Daryl!
Oh my god.
While seated on his conspicuously made bed and conspicuously making zero use of his state-issued mead helmet, Daryl worked diligently on the lamest song imaginable, all about taking care of your body and the plight of the minotaurs of Eastern Harklocks.
Oh, God.
Oh, ring.
Right? As he tweaked a line that reminded the listener that minotaurs have mothers too. His cell filled with smoke, which while not as diggity dank dong dizzank soup duper dank as the island's finest wizard weed, was still diggity dank dookie howser dank dank ding dong danky doo enough to set Daryl's pristine little lungs a wheezing. Cough to get off, bro. A friendly voice rang out from the smoke.
Is this, real quick, is this taking place in Darados?
What? No, this was Air Darados. I wish you would pay attention.
No, I'm paying attention.
Air Darados towered over the plains.
Yeah.
There's an
So
island.
here's the thing: you created a land. You're the first person on the show to create your own land.
Well, I just
yeah.
didn't want to. I didn't want
I'm
to fuck
happy.
up. I didn't want to fuck up your canon.
Hey,
I didn't want to.
No, this is canon.
this is beautiful.
Well,
Ken.
that's why I kind of wanted to set it separate enough that it'll make sense.
Oh,
All right, all
it's
right.
making sense,
you're like
baby.
you're like where this is going.
It's making sense to my heart.
Cough to get off, bro. A friendly voice rang out from the smoke. But before Daryl could fully finish coughing or start getting offing, a Megathulian witch stumbled out of the smoke. She was built like a brick shithouse. And as her eyes glazed over from the receding diggity dankadoo dirk dank diggler wizard weed smoke, you could tell that she was both a maenad in the streets and in the in the sheets. Fuck it. I got caught up.
That was good.
No. You can repeat that line.
I don't want to repeat it. Keep it in.
Keep it in.
You ain't fixing any of my shit in post. God damn it.
He's right. I won't be able to.
Now it's too late. Now we can.
Who are you? Stammered Daryl. In response, the witch pinched Daryl's nipple hard enough to draw blood, laughed, and said, "I'm Hagatha, bitch." She then pretended to ride an imaginary wolf steed and added, "Let's ride."
This world is awesome.
Yes,
Megathul,
it
baby.
is.
It's on 10 right now.
Megathul. Daryl protested, indicating that he still had the bridge of Eastern Harclock's Minotaur Blues to finish. But Hagatha quickly pinched his other nipple. Finish lactating and then we're getting out of here. Everyone knows that Minotaurs were just as awful to the Centaurs when they ran Eastern Harclocks. Social commentary.
I think we all remember those times.
It is canon, by the way.
It is.
Trying to stem the steady stream of blood trickling from his tweaked nipples.
His nipples are bleeding.
Both of them.
She pinched him that hard, man.
Hagatha, fucking around. Daryl watched as Hagatha peeked through the bars to his cell. She then stepped back, quickly unbuttoned her robe, and flashed the bars, keeping them locked inside. The bars let out a breathy sigh that Daryl could have sworn said, "Damn titty." Then spread like one of those slut bitch centaurs who totally wants a minotaur to just give it to him.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Listen, man, canon. As Daryl complained about needing exactly 8 hours of sleep, Hagatha dragged him into the guards' bathroom. Luckily, all the guards were at their hourly bong rip competition. Dom, do you know who won?
Daryl.
Everyone won. Everyone won. It's a bong rip competition. Hagatha then pushed Daryl into a stall made completely of glory holes, where they sat at a toilet in the midst of what looked like some bullshit modern art. Hagatha told Daryl to stare at the colors and wait for it, but Daryl wouldn't just like fucking relax, man, and started asking all these bush league questions like, "What's the point of this? Don't you have to work tomorrow? And have you seen that Ken Burns documentary about kobold poaching?" So Hagatha flicked him in the junk, saying, "That's more action than your little baby dick has gotten in years, I bet."
Yeah.
She then told Daryl to let his eyes relax, staring just beyond instead of at the floor.
Nice.
It was
like
at
it.
that moment Daryl realized that the toilet wasn't just sitting in the midst of some bullshit modern art. It was sitting in the midst of some bullshit modern art that was also a magic eye drawing.
Damn.
Yeah.
This story just went next level.
I can't see those because I'm blind in my one eye. So.
Oh man, why you gotta bring the fucking mood down?
I used to be able
sorry.
to see those, but I realized I recently was told that I have a stigma in my other eye, so I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know if I was ever really all that well. It is getting really real. I don't know if I was ever really all that good.
Did you guys do Puzz 3Ds like the Empire State Building?
I wish.
No,
I
man.
always wanted to.
I was too busy getting laid.
Yeah, dude.
When you were
we
10?
doing that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fucking just nuts deep.
All right.
Get at me. As Daryl stared, his jaw hanging open and the head of his little baby dick throbbing, he saw a pentagram rise up out of the floor, made of lines that looked simultaneously like 3-headed axes, 1-headed cocks, and bonged with like 4 different ice chambers. I don't even know how you'd load one, much less light it and hit it without the help of like 3 other dudes more if they hit it first.
True.
Double damn.
As electric guitar necks covered with condoms started to poke out through each of the stall's glory holes, Agatha shoved Daryl's head in the toilet and gave him the swirly that would change the direction of his life, and indeed, all life on Megathul. For despite Megathul's strict, if it's yellow, let it mellow ordinance, there was nothing yellow about what was in that bowl. Nay! What the bowl contained was viscous, green, concentrated leavings of the finest, most diggity Dankosaurus Rex downtown Danky Brown Dirk Dizzard Danky Kong Fooey Wizardweed known to man, Catman, or Man Cat.
Danky Kong.
We are in outer space right now.
When Daryl looked up, his head soaked with the sticky liquid residue of 280 proof distilled wizardweed concentrate, he learned that he was no longer in the re-education center, but had been magically transported to the top of the revered and feared Volcano Steve.
Damn.
Shit.
Standing nearby was Agatha, who in the light of day was looking more banging than ever before, especially since Daryl was now tripping fucking balls. So, said Agatha, the memories came crashing into Daryl's brain, forgotten oaths and sacred promises, now recalled with the help of the wizard weed concentrate coursing through his veins. That, said Daryl, that was the diggity dong dankus Doobie Brothers ooh black water keep on rolling. Dank and wait diz danky dank dirk danky this danky dog dank.
I always latch on to one of them. That one was keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling. Yeah, keep on rolling. Yep.
And I, he continued, I am no whiny, socially conscious singer-songwriter Daryl. I'm the loosest dude this side of the shredding plains. I'm the party-hardy Barney, baby. I am Brosif.
Whoa!
Dude, he's going through
Brosif.
some changes right now.
God damn.
As he spoke, the Volcano Steve rumbled beneath his feet, responding to the forgotten herald of the groove, Brosif himself. Agatha took a knee, but not in a sexually subservient way, more like in a way you might show respect for someone you consider an equal. Hail Brosif, she shouted, while waggling her fingers and tugging a totally rad, but again, not sexually demeaning fashion. As Brosif took stock of the changed world around him, ruminating on how extreme Megathul is, and yet how much more extreme it might become, Agatha once again loosened her robes. Damn titty. The Volcano Steve groaned as his mouth spread like one of those skanky minotaurs who just go trolling for any centaur they can find.
Oh
on
my
Saturday
god. Again with this.
Damn.
Canon.
Canon
Out of the
as
mouth of the
fuck.
Volcano Steve rose an electric guitar so badass that it could only be fully appreciated in the 5th dimension.
Jesus.
Thankfully, Brosif now had enough wizardry concentrate in his brain that he could only appreciate things in the 4th dimension or higher anyways. He stepped forward, grasped the neck of the guitar, then quickly but gently removed the condom placed over its neck. As Brosif tuned the guitar, his wakened mind dreaming of the badassery he, as the prophet of the Volcano Steve, would unleash upon Megathul, he began to sing a song not heard on Megathul in generations.
Oh, God.
With a clear voice, as badass as it was beautiful, he sang, hey, 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 smoke wizard weed every day. As he repeated the refrain, Agatha began casting a spell of eldritch powers. The Volcano Steve belched and shook, green lava oozing out its mouth, which is still mumbling about Agatha's tit-tat. And Agatha summoned up a smaller opening on the side of the Volcano Steve, which she quickly covered with her hand, as sparkling smoke crept out twixt her fingers. Agatha spoke, somebody's smoking that dank!
I knew it was coming.
Glanced at Brosif, and he knew exactly what he must do. And also that after completing his communion with the Volcano Steve, he was totally getting laid and getting paid. Brosif struck the most decadent, debauched minor chord imaginable, calling up ever more bodacious rumbling from the Volcano Steve. He kept the reverb going as he knelt by the new opening, and then, working a vicious wah-wah pedal with one foot and doing high kicks with the other,
Damn.
Broseph placed his mouth over the volcano opening, revealing the Volcano Steve's true form, a colossal lava bomb.
Oh my!
As the lava
fucking
bomb
God.
Steve rumbled, smoke from wizard weed grown and first burnt in the center of the earth itself, shotgun down Broseph's throat, as if he was some type of minotaur on a first date.
These minotaurs!
Lay off the minotaurs, man.
With his lungs full, his eyes watering, and his peen rock hard enough to balance an entire keg of mead, Broseph stood up, ready to unleash a whole new era of awesome upon Megathul. Impressed with his ability to hold in such a righteous rip from the lava bong Steve, Hagatha went to Broseph's side and whispered in his ear Megathul's other sacred motto: gas, grass, and ass. But as Broseph began to slowly let the smoke, fermented for thousands of years beneath the crust of the earth, out through his nostrils, something horrific happened. He coughed.
Oh no!
Broseph coughed his goddamn brains out as blood vessels in his eyes burst and his chest heaved as he struggled to take in oxygen. Meanwhile, Hagatha, startled by Broseph's lack of testicular fortitude, stepped back and looked on in horror as Broseph's coughing turned to hacking, turned to dry heaving, turned to outright ralphing on the side of the lava bong Steve. Struggling to catch his breath, tears streaming down his face, kneeling in a pile of his own yakety yak, Broseph spoke. I don't know what happened. I do, Hagatha said sadly, shaking her head in time with the increased angry rumblings of the lava bong Steve. You couldn't handle your shit, nerd.
Damn!
Wow.
And as Hagatha flicked Broseph in his floppy little baby dick, the lava bong Steve erupted like a cheap centaur in a re-education center stall. Ashes blotted out the sky and lava poured down the volcano Steve, burning all of Megathul, even the gleaming capital of Pound Town, to cinders, like unto a cashed-out bowl of wizard weed. Where a moment before there was only the righteous shredding and echoing refrain of hey, 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 smoke wizard weed every day. Now there were only the cries of men, women, and children alike, burning alive in the knowledge that their death was guaranteed by a man too weak, too craven, too despicable to handle his goddamn shit like a fucking grown-up.
Is this a story about me?
No.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
I don't even. No, let me finish. I don't. What? No.
oh no, life
But the destruction
imitating
wasn't
art.
complete yet. Nay, as the corrosive lava miraculously avoided the weak-ass prophet Broseph and the bitchin' and witchin' Hagatha, the lava bong Steve puked up the foundational bedrock of Megathul itself, likened to that Nance Broseph puking up I don't even know what, because all he had was some wizard weed and like one beer. What was even in his stomach? It could be ralphing up not once, but like again.
Oh my
later
god,
on.
this is about Dom.
If it didn't, it's about me. No. This is a story. It's Megathul. It's Broseph. I don't.
Okay.
If it had ended there, Megathul might have been reclaimed in the distant future, a shining beacon of radness built upon the wreckage of the past. But nay, such a fate was prevented through the weakness of Broseph. The island's foundational bedrock was so damaged that the glorious civilization of Megathul sank beneath the waves, burying its millions of totally cool dudes and bitchin' broads in two graves. The first of molten lava, and the second of unforgiving, dark, frigid waters.
Shit, man.
Legalize it.
I'm just saluting over here. You can't see it.
Holy shit. Holy shit. All right.
Oh my god. Aubrey's kind of a good writer.
Yeah, that was really fucking amazing. That was amazing. That was great.
What was your inspiration for this, Dale?
Yeah.
You know, I've been reading Elric lately, and he's like, Elric is like this albino sorcerer, like emperor of this like lost and like decadent society. And also, I've kind of always like the name Megathul. It's a reference to Ultima Thule, which was like it was kind of like an Atlantean myth of like a wonderful civilization that sort of sunk to the earth through decadence.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Do you believe in Atlantis?
No,
No.
that shit's made up, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Prove it to me.
Prove it to me.
Can't.
Let's
Prove
go.
it. You can't.
Let's go. We got places to be.
Pause the podcast. We got to go to Atlantis.
Well, that was a great story, man.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, I gotta say, you brought WW up to a next level.
Yeah, you did.
Thanks, bro. What, wizard weed?
Yeah, man.
That's what WW
Diggity
is.
dank dank dong Doobie Brothers.
Keep on
Black
rolling.
water. Keep on rolling.
Are you ready for a tale of witches and jailbreaks?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yes!
I'm ready.
Yes.
Well, this story is called Folder Doom Keep.
Shit, man.
Pretty neat name, I'd say so. The following tale has been funded by the Orkspire prison system to educate young creatures of Orkspire on why doing certain things are bad and you shouldn't do them, or else you could end up like this. Fade up on 100 guitars soloing at once. Fuck yeah! There's some double bass back drums. As the camera flies throughout Orkspire when finally arriving at Folder Doom Keep, the most badass wizard prison in all of Orkspire. The security was tight. Each guard was armed with a crossbow with magic ice arrows, a battle axe with magic fire enchants, and at least 2 long sticks for poking prisoners when you were sitting down and didn't want to get up. Yep, life was hell. The prisoners had their wrists bound with anti-magic shackles, so yeah, even their magic was kind of like in a magic prison. A warlock and necromancer.
What a metaphor.
I'm sorry. It took me that long to wrap my brain around what you were saying. Can you read it again? Can you read the part about the prisons within prisons?
The prisoners had their wrists bound with anti-magic shackles. So yeah, even their magic was in like a kind of a magic prison.
That's fucked.
I like how we just rewinded the story.
Well, no, I wanted to think about it. So like I felt like
You had
I
to take
needed
it in,
a little
you
bit
had to take
extra
it in.
time.
Yeah.
You kind of need to think about my stories.
Let
a
it sink
lot.
in a little bit.
Yeah.
A warlock and necromancer sat in a cell together. "What are you in for?" asked the necromancer. "I sacrificed a small village in a dark ritual to open a portal to the demon realm where I sold bootleg battle keg t-shirts,"
Oh my god.
said the warlock. "Life sentence for dealing unlicensed BK merch." "Damn," said the necromancer. Then he looked around the cell.
I thought that was an automatic death sentence. Why is that guy still alive?
Dude, because death is too good.
It's too good, yeah. That's getting off
You gotta
easy.
live with it now.
You need like layers upon layers of magic prisons for that.
Well, in Orkspire, if you wrong BK, people are like, "Whoa, there's the motherfucker that tried to sell bootleg battle keg shit," and then you
Yeah.
just get beat up. So he's got to live
There
with
it
that.
is.
There it is.
"Damn," said the necromancer. Then he looked around the cell. "Gods, this is boring. I'm out of here," he continued, and he grabbed his face with both hands and pulled his skin apart from his skeleton body entirely. Then his skeleton, which was now thin enough to walk through the magical bars, did so and danced out of the prison as he yelled to the rest of the prisoners, "Meet me in Grawl City, boys!" Yep, this ain't your mama's wizard prison.
What were those like?
Dude, you don't want to know, but they aren't your mom's. In another cell, a few prisoners were planning a breakout. They had notes, maps, and pretty good drawings of the Van Halen logo laid out all over the table. There was a quiet debate going on when suddenly a goblin slammed his hands down on the table. "There's only one way out of this prison," spoke the goblin. Then he turned to the corner and began to J.O. feverishly.
Sick.
The other wizards were intently watching for a while until one spoke up. "Hey, he's just masturbating." The goblin turned his head and yelled, "This is my escape!" Then went back to skank work.
That's amazing.
And yeah, a tear rolled down the cheek of everyone in that cell.
Wait, do we know why the goblin was in jail?
Well, he's a wizard too.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been up to some naughty shit.
Yeah, well, he's, you know,
He was
this is his
upskirting.
escape. He J-Zo'd to escape
Yeah.
mentally. Some wizards were doing time in the yard for being bad boys, and they'd break rocks all day in search of rape rubies. The suns were sweltering, so to take their mind off the heat, they'd sing working songs that went a little like this. "Let me get up in your prison, baby. Sentence my dick to life.
Shit,
My
man.
injection can be lethal, baby. I'ma make you my wizard prison wife.
That's beautiful.
And we gonna have a little baby. And you gonna raise that little baby. And that baby's gonna break me out of this wizard prison.
Damn.
Baby breaking me out tonight.
That was me and Queenie's first dance as man and wife.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That song.
That's a good choice.
Something told me.
Something told me. I just knew. I looked in your
You
eyes.
guys
I
can't
just
hear
knew.
it, but I'm crying.
I can hear it. Cut to the prison weight room. Loud music is playing. Prisoners were saying bad words, and at any moment you knew that dudes could just start making out because why the fuck not?
Yep.
Prison, bitch.
Dude. This is like Texas prison.
It's like Oz.
Yeah, right?
It's a lot like Oz.
It's a lot like Oz.
You can't see it, but there's so much dick.
Yeah.
These were the prison wizards your mama warned you about. Dudes were lifting weights and getting swole as fuck, covered in jailhouse tattoos of skulls, lightning skulls, skulls on fire, riding motorcycles, and big titties. Yep, dudes just had tats and dope-ass hangers chilling on their ribs. And guess what? Mama ain't gonna tell them no.
That's right. That's right. Oh my god.
There was one wizard who stood out from the rest because, you guessed it, he had cool mutton chops. Also, he was the buffest. His name was Tony Two-Cut, the former prestigious warlock, and his body was so tight, he had a team of goblin muscle massagers that tended to his wizardly pecs at all times. Their names were Flip, Clip, and Bip. And you'll never hear about them ever again.
Oh, bummer.
Thank God.
We got two distinct opinions on the matter here.
Leave a comment. Tony.
You decide. Fantasy fiction, you decide. Flip, dip, and what is it? Chip?
Bip.
To hear more about
I
the
don't give a
goblins,
fuck.
turn to page
You were
9.
supposed to never hear about them ever again.
Fuck that. You're hearing about them, God damn it.
Tony was wearing a loincloth and a sick purple robe with tough-ass stars and moons on it.
Cool.
He laid down on the bench. The room got
Wait,
quiet.
were the stars and moons themselves tough, or just the arrangements of them?
Both.
Okay,
You looked at it and you were like, whoa, tough guy.
cool. Into it.
He laid down on the bench. The room got quiet and watched. Suddenly, Tony started repping like 100 to 700 reps, like a goddamn madman. He then stood up. All sorts of crazy hunky steam was coming off of him. He walked up to the gated window, put his hands on the bars, and looked out to the setting suns. The rest of the muscle men waited as if they knew something awesome was about to happen. There's only one way to get out of this prison, said Tony as one of the setting suns dipped behind a mountain. Two-Cut focused on the mountain's peak where there was a silhouette flailing its arms about. Super awesome zoom-in shot where we fly through everything on our way to the silhouette and reveal that it is a Babley witch.
Oh,
With the
shit.
floating magic ball, performing some sort of curse. She chanted the spell's most evil runes. Oh, yeah, wanna be my lover.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, wanna be my lover.
That's beautiful. That was really good.
Thanks.
There are eldritch magics in those words.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Atavistic power courses through them.
Suddenly,
Suddenly.
Tony's eyes began to glow as his feet left the ground, floating in midair. Arms still holding onto the bars, Tony exclaimed, "The only way out of this prison is by lifting your way out."
What?
Oh my God.
And Tony Two-Cut, the man who devoted his prison life to getting buff because he couldn't use magic spells anymore, began to magically bench press the entire wall of the weight room, shaking it back and forth with each rep. Dudes lost their shit. One guy got so excited, he exploded. No one cared.
I'm liable to explode. That's how excited I am. Man,
No one
by this.
cared.
The other walls of Folderdoom Keep began to break apart. Guards stormed the weight room to stop Tony, but they were met by a crowd of amped-up, buff-ass wizards ready for a prison fight. No shanks necessary, no holds barred, and no fucks given.
Damn right.
There were many deaths. but it bought Two Cut just enough time. On the final rep to break the wall off of the gym, he began to struggle, and his spotter began to yell, "Come on, pussy, go, go, go!" And it totally annoyed everyone else in the gym, but it got the job done. The wall flew the fuck off the prison, and all the wizards hightailed it to Daranos.
Jesus. There's no extradition in Daranos.
No, you just get over there. We're not allowed over there.
Yeah, they're just like, whatever.
Why would you want to?
Oh, whoa.
Fuck them. That's what I say.
That's
It's a
fun.
lot. Daranos is a lot sexier of a place.
Yeah, I don't like.
People get fucked to death over there.
Yeah, like a lot.
I know all about it. It's a gamble. I heard a fair bit about it.
I heard a fair amount of fucking to death. Sex murder is the highest it's been in decades.
Sex murder rates on the rise.
Skyrocketing.
Tony Two Cut ran as fast as he could to the mountain where the witch had cast her spell, and there she was, waiting under the full moon. Yep, they boned.
Nice.
The end.
Oh, that was a great fucking story.
Yeah,
That was
Like,
great.
I feel like after you, thank you,
that's the best ending.
to a
Boning.
prison
Yeah.
story,
Just fucking.
the hero gets to
Or
get have
any
some
story.
sex.
He just got out of jail. Of course he's gonna
Action.
bone. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
I would say that's number one in anyone's book is having sex.
Yeah, I get out of like
that dick wet.
church and I want to bone. I don't go to church. I lied about that.
I go to church to bone. Get at me.
Wow.
Do something.
After I'm done boning, I just gotta bone.
Thank you, everyone, again for listening to yet another episode, and I want to say thank you to Aubrey for joining us on the show.
Hey boys, thanks for having me.
No,
I had
it
a
was-
stone cold blast.
It was a very good pleasure, sir. It was awesome. It was great. I
And
loved
I
it.
said this in the break, but I'm going to say it right now. You brought a very different tone to the show, and we had a lot of fun.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks, man. I enjoyed. I hope I could come back someday. How about that?
More than welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, speaking of Aubrey, your wife has a soap and beard oil company. That
She
Yes.
does. She makes all kinds of all natural body products called Anons. AEN. I've been drinking. AENONS.com. Anons.com.
And
Yeah.
I just got a bar soap because she's just started selling.
Which type of soap was it?
I got the charcoal,
Oh, the activated charcoal.
and I got to say, ladies and gentlemen, I've got dry skin.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm Irish.
we live in this fucking desert, man.
We do
it's hard
live in a
not to
dry-ass
live in this.
desert.
It's true.
Get all dry.
I use Dove. It's expensive.
It's also got all the sorts of chemicals and stuff in it too. All the
Yeah.
preservatives and whatnot.
I used the charcoal bar that you gave me. No lotion necessary.
That
after
shit
the
rules,
shower.
man.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
I don't get that too much in Los
I have
Angeles.
to I use her soaps, but I still have to use lotion just because I'm a super dry guy in
Mm-hmm.
desert. But she started making lotions and stuff too. Like,
Oh, really? I didn't realize
like
that.
shea based lotions.
Oh,
and things
man,
for
that's
men
sweet.
And ladies. Yeah,
Ooh,
no.
men and ladies.
Yeah, they're dope. Look at this. Like I need to start using it. Look at that. Look how dry I get.
Wow.
You guys can't see.
I can't
Super
see it
dry.
either.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
I'm imagining. Is it your elbow?
What? Nah, my elbows are okay right now. It's this weird thing on my knuckle. Queenie keeps shipping out all of the because it's so popular. People,
Yeah.
she keeps shipping out the lotion instead of giving me some to use. 'Cause
She's
I'll be fresh.
She's being a good
little
business
laugh.
person instead of a good wife.
Yeah, instead of taking care of her husband, her dry ass, her dusty ass.
Dusty ass skeleton husband.
But the next day I used the Dove bar.
What, just as a test?
I was like, you know what? Let me see
Compare.
what's going on here.
Yeah.
Is it the new? I just moved into a new place. So I'm like, is it the water pressure? What is it?
Yeah.
Dove bar. I was dry as fuck when I stepped out of that.
Oh, that
shower.
shit dries your ass out, man.
Yeah, no.
Dusty
I'm
ass
gonna start using this
motherfucker.
natural stuff. It's real good. And if you guys want to check out the site and buy some stuff, Josh, you just got some beard oil, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been using the Wolf. I love it. If you have a beard and you don't like condition or oil your beard, you're missing out. You're a crazy person, and you need to start doing it. You're a god. You turn into a god, man.
I never did when I had my beard, and it was dry as fuck.
Yep.
I wish I had a beard just
It's all
so
crusty and like
Yeah.
sticking out places and everything. Can I interject something I'm really excited about? Sure. It doesn't really work for me because I already got this big old beard on me. But
Shorty got a big old butt. Hell yeah.
what's it called? Yeah, there's a new beard starter kit. Because a lot of people don't like growing beards because it gets all itchy while they're growing it out. And the beard starter kit comes with, it comes with the Raven, which is the lightest beard oil. But it also comes with a scrub that's got tea tree oil and like crushed walnuts.
Oh my god, you put tea tree oil on anything and you feel amazing. It's so it's awesome.
It's got the crushed walnuts, which helps to exfoliate so you don't get all itchy and
stuff.
And
that's awesome.
Hairs and whatnot. Yeah.
Like, that tempts me to grow a beard, because that's the worst part of growing a beard, is like that first 2 weeks.
I love it.
Yeah, and use that fucking... We'll get you some.
I'm addicted to it.
I'm gonna look cool, guys. But if you guys want to check out the site and check out some of the products, which clearly we all like, you can use a promo code for this week. It's FantasyFic. You'll get 15% off.
Nice job.
Check it out, guys. And guys, if you have a beard and you've never conditioned it, do yourself a favor. Get this oil, and you will smell like a man. As Aubrey once put it to me, it smells like you just went and chopped down a tree.
Yeah.
It smells camphorous.
Camphorous. That's awesome.
Once again, it's AENONS.com. Promo code FantasyFic.
By the way, if you guys want to leave a review on our iTunes page, feel free to do that. I will read one right now.
Do it.
The title is Highlight of My Week by Possum Poff. It says, a podcast so good it'll make you sing, this is my favorite podcast, baby, baby. I can't wait for next Monday so I can hear another song sung by Goofy Skeleton or something. It's super good, y'all. So that's by Possum Pop. Thank you very much for giving us a very positive review. And
thanks so much for that. Yeah, and Josh, that was a good rendition.
Thanks.
But thank you for leaving a review. Thank you to everyone who's left a review. But if you have a moment, go ahead and do that. It really helps out the show. And we have prompts for next week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be doing sea monsters. Finally.
Good Lord.
It's been suggested a lot, but this time it's been suggested by my good friend Joe Hirschman and also Michael Webster on Facebook. And in addition to sea monsters, we'll be doing hobgoblins, suggested by @Connor P. Turcotte on Twitter. So thank you guys so much. We're going to do sea monsters and hobgoblins. Don't forget to check out Straight Shoot later today if you're listening on Monday. Or even if you're not listening on Monday, Aubrey uploads them all to YouTube immediately afterwards. So if you want to hear 3 big idiots yell about
two big idiots.
That's true. That's true.
Don't say that about Josh.
I thought you were. That's very nice of you.
Two big idiots to yell about big muscly men and which one we like the most.
Yep.
Roman Reigns. It's Roman Reigns.
Check out Straight Shoot. You can find his YouTube channel at youtube.com/AubreyRex. I'll put it in the show notes. And remember, what time do we start? It's immediately after Raw.
It's immediately after, whenever the fuck Raw feels like ending because of the overrun. So it's around 11 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll go live. But like Dom said, it lives on the YouTube page. I'll upload the audio. Head to AubreySitterson.com and you can find links to all this stuff.
Yep, it's also on iTunes where you can find it too.
Of course.
And guys, this is going to be probably the biggest Raw of the year, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there are a lot of people who say that the Raw after Mania is actually kind of a bigger deal than Mania because these new storylines start and the crowd's always really hot because it's like the most hardcore people who flew in from out of town. It's historically a really big deal. I'm looking forward to it.
I think we might get a big surprise. Who knows? I don't know.
I'm ready.
I hope so.
I love surprises.
I don't always.
Depends.
I always love a surprise.
Change scares me.
Challenge me. Challenge that.
But thanks again, everyone, for listening. And until next week, Aubrey, you wanna do the honors?
Do the honors.
Keep on wizarding!
Keep on wizarding!
Beautiful.
Josh, say it. You gotta say it.
Keep on wizarding!
Straight Shoot!
Thanks again, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.